Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. I haven't done one of these in like about a couple of months, and I'm going to be doing an old school album review, and I'm actually going to see this band play this album in its entirety in honor of this year's being the 10th year anniversary of this album. And as you can see below the title, we're going to be reviewing August Burns Red's album Messengers. This was released on June 19th, 2007 through Solid State Records. Now, I've covered August Burns Red back in the summer of 2015 when they released their most recent album, Found in Faraway Places, which I thought was a pretty good album. And August Burns Red, for me, are, in my opinion, one of the better bands in the genre, along with like bands such as like Parkway Drive and probably Miss May I, in my opinion. And a lot of people consider Messengers their breakthrough album. I mean, this is the follow-up to their debut album, Thrill Seeker, which came out in 2005. And in my honest opinion, I think this is their best album. This is basically August Burns Red in their prime. I mean, their other stuff, such as like Constellations and Leveler, are pretty good. And at first, I thought their album Leveler was their best album. But when I heard that they were going to play this album in its entirety, I was like, I'll just want to listen to it. And I've actually listened to it a lot more, especially when I was at work. It actually grew on me, and I honestly could think this is my favorite album of theirs. And as this album is actually the first album with vocalist Jake Luers and Dustin Davidson, and ever since 2006 they basically had the same lineup, which is kind of crazy that their lineup has remained unchanged since 2006, so it's over a decade, which I don't think a whole lot of bands nowadays have the same lineup for that long, which is kind of crazy. But this album I actually think is pretty much one of the best metalcore albums I've heard. I mean, like the production on this album is fantastic. Like everything, it's spot on. It's crisp. The album is produced by Sue Madsen, if I'm saying that right, and August Burns Red. I mean, everybody performed, especially the first album with Jake Luers. I mean, his vocals are pretty much good where they need to be, just like really just insane, like high scream, and then it goes like to some growls and some just good shouting vocals, and I think his vocal work on this album is really good. And guitar-wise, I mean, J.B. Brubaker and Brent Rambler's riffs are just really great, and especially the crazy leads that J.B. plays is just over the top. And the bass playing is a little bit audible from Dustin. You can hear it like on some of the songs compared to like later albums. And the drumming from Matt Greiner is just insane. Like the type of drum fills and over-the-top drum work he does on this album is really good. But yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, the album opens up with The Truth of a Liar, which is a great opener. It's just some very good persistent work. I really love how the intro scream from Jake, and I think it's gets your blood flowing. It's a good way to start this album. Start it off with a bang. Then we go into Up Against the Ropes, which is a 6-song. There's a lot of breakdowns in this song, and it's a very brutal song, which I do like some breakdowns. I mean, they actually do make the breakdowns sound good, and don't like overdo it a whole lot. But I mean, with later albums they do it less and less. But I like they actually have some good breakdowns. Like I said, I keep repeating myself. Anyway, moving forward to Backburner, one of my favorite tracks on this album. It goes right into it. I really love Jake's growls, and like I said, there's a very cool breakdown at the end. I keep saying breakdown a lot. I need to stop. All right, then we go into The Blinding Light. Good, tight song. Some really good guitar work in there. And I feel like for this song, they kind of went more like metal. I mean, I don't even know how to describe that, but that's just me. Composure, good track, and I really love the perfect blend of riffs where it has some really shredding like style rip shred your face off, and some really great melodic guitar parts in there. I think that's a really good song, and pretty interesting too, if I say so myself. Vital Signs. When I first heard this song, I thought it was decent, but the more I listened to the song, it grew on me. And this song reminds me a little bit of another great metalcore band, Unearth, at some of the parts, and I really love the frantic guitar work in there. It's a good song. 11th Hour, amazing song. It's great, full of energy, and just right from the screams, there's just some fantastic drum intro and some really great guitars in there. The Balance, excuse me, Balance has some nice melody, but yet no brutality. But it'll get your blood moving. I love it. Black Sheep, just an amazing passive song with starts off with some good guitar work, and one of the most brutal songs on this album. And just the ending of that song just gives me chills. It gives me goosebumps whenever I even hear that song. An American Dream, very intense, complex, a lot of different tempo changes in that song, and some really good lyrics. And then the album closes with Redemption, which it opens up with some epic fashion, shows some melodic guitar work, and I feel like the vocals kind of add like a little bit of an atmosphere to it. And so the guitar licks are pretty good, and it sort of goes through some different sections and some different riffs. And it goes into like a slower pace, but then it builds up to a good passage, and then before you know it, the song ends. Now, overall, Messengers is a really good album. Like I said, this is considered to be August Burns Red's breakthrough album. I'm gonna have to agree. It basically put them on the map, and this basically what kind of like broke them through the big leagues. So yeah, if I were to give this a score, I'd probably give this a perfect 10 out of 10. One of the best metalcore albums in the genre, and I love this. And if anybody is actually going to see in Atlanta is actually going to see them on the 7th to play this album in its entirety, I hope to see you there. I also got VIP via from money I got for Christmas, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's my review of Messengers, guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you all in the next review, and keep it metal.